Caminante, no hay camino. Se hace camino al andar. Antonio Machado. Translation: Traveler, there is no path. The path is forged as you begin to walk. The unknown path is a perfect metaphor with all the inherent ambiguity and risk of leadership. After all, if the path was known, you'd simply have to follow it. And that's the difference between followers and leaders. Innovation is core to transformational leadership, and risk is core to innovation. Hi, my name is Dr. Dave Heitman, and I'm coming to you from the Jessup Innovation Center, a place where we train students on how to ideate and create and build using the design thinking method coming out of the Stanford D School. Empathy. What is it that your users actually need and want? What's going to make an impact and difference in their life? Can you define that? Can you then begin to ideate based on those things? Can you then build a prototype, a small model of what that solution might be, and then test it? It's an iterative process that we continue to use information to begin to inform better decision making. But before we get there, I found that we have to remove a lot of barriers and debunk some myths for students. The first is, I'm not a creative person. Sir Ken Robinson said every child is creative. Pens, Play-Dohs, you see kids all about creativity. It's not until we get older that we now have to unlearn conformity and rediscover curiosity. Eleanor Roosevelt said, try one new thing every day that scares you. Don't believe me? Peter Drucker, leadership guru and author, said the average person who is risk avoidant makes 2 big mistakes every year. The person who takes risks, on average, makes 2 big mistakes every year. Why is it that we don't take bigger risks? It's because of a fear of failure. And in order to get over that fear, we need to go back to the way that we've been trained. Primarily in education, we're all about trying to find the right answers. But maybe we need to be devoting more time to asking the right questions. Albert Einstein famously said that if he had an hour to solve a problem that his life depended on, he would spend the first 55 minutes asking the right questions. Let me tell you, Blockbuster is an example that's often used. When Netflix came along, Blockbuster had the market on video rentals. But Netflix was beginning to build in convenience into the services that they provided. In a famous board meeting, Blockbuster said, "We've never done it that way before," which, by the way, are the famous last words of every dying organization. Having the insight, the technology, and the capital in the market, they decided that they would not go with the convenient subscription service that Netflix was going to provide that later turned into streaming that we know today. Another primary reason they decided not to is that they gained a significant portion of their annual revenue based on late fees. We need to develop a culture with a right theology of failure. There's grace. Develop a culture of innovation and experimentation. Learn how to ask better questions. Robert Frost, in his famous poem, "A road diverged in the yellow wood, and there long I stood, being one traveler. Not being able to travel all the roads, I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference."